I don't have much pets or anything.
That's okay. That's fine. So, when you were growing up, you said you didn't know the Lord.
I knew the Lord. I daily used to be our Father, which art in heaven. I don't give any finish.
Oh,
I
okay.
used to say the Lord's Prayer every day.
Yeah.
But I did not know the in and out of the gospel.
Yeah, exactly.
What Isaiah says, what Jeremiah says, what Habakkuk says, what Micah says. I did not have the illustration of knowledge, and I did not know. I know the Moses to Israel. That's all I know. But I did not know the passage in the wilderness, all that process. I did not know.
Yeah.
And Adam and Eve and all the things, I did not have the real understanding. But now I know what was sin and how the sin came. What is this world made of?
Yeah. But you said when you were
but
younger.
the thing is, if I would have had that thing, I would not have gone to the places to work or to pass through the stages that I had the suffering. I would have all the time would have taken the step with my God.
Yeah.
You understand? Many jobs I went, many places I lived, and many conditions I had, many sickness I had. I had malaria, dysentery. Twice I had malaria, I had dysentery. I tell you, I had 3 operations in me. 3 operations, 1, 2, and one was actually a piles operation. And I lived with people whom I did not know. This would not have happened. And my parents were not born again Christians. That was the greatest trouble. They were just nominal, go to church and come. I never heard about Jesus Christ from the mouth of my mother or my father. I was a Christian. They used to, at the evening prayer, we sit down there, and it is just nominal. It is something like, they learn something and recital prayer.
Yeah.
But not heart-touch prayer. They never prayed
Not
for
personal.
No, not personal. They never prayed for the children. Heartfelt prayer, nothing. Only that sacramental type of prayer in the Church of England. They pray, and our Father which art in heaven, sleeping. When our Father which art finally when says, oh, Amen, Amen.
Oh my
You understand?
goodness.
You understand what I said?
Yeah.
But now I am not like that, and I know the every step of it. But that is the one I lost. My parents would have been born again Christians, and they would have told, come here, Philip, come here, Jacob, come here. I'm going to tell you what Moses did. They did not illustrate the things to us. I would have heard it like that. If my dad and mom tell me like that the story, I would have heard it like that. I would have kept the things in my head. They never even talked a word. And I did not know the Lord as intimately that I know today.
Yeah.
Now, intimately means I think He's so close to me. Although I walk and I know, He's coming, He's coming, He's coming. My Lord, you've come, you've come. I love to see you. That kind of, that idolizing Him personally, that I did not have. Now when I think, John, oh, you wear many crowns, you will come against the world, you will take your children into your hands, and we all shall be one with you, wearing the garment of salvation, and we shall see your face. That is not that intimate brotherhood I did not have at that time. That was the one I was missing. In my young days, I was missing really. If I would have had that thing, I would not have gone to the temptations that I had. But as a Christian, I never did anything wrong. I never robbed anyone. I never talked ill about anyone. I was just living like anybody, but then I never involved in any sinful activities. But I never walked with God. as boy Samuel walked with God. So God called Samuel, Samuel, Samuel. He ran up to the prophet. You know, Elijah, he went there. Did you call me? No, my son, you go and sleep. Again, Samuel, Samuel. He ran to the high priest and said, did you call me? No, you go and sleep. That time when he came, he said, when you say Samuel, he said, Lord, your servant speak. When he said like that, he told everything. And there I said, all the things what the Lord spoke to you, don't hide and tell me everything. He was afraid to tell you because the judgment was upon him. The judgment. Your children will die. Ark of Covenant will be taken away from you. All the things. And his son's wife, when she was delivering the child was delivered, the mother died. The nurse asked, what is the name? Ichabod. The glory of the Lord has departed. So boy Samuel grew up. And the boy Samuel was also born because the mother pleaded to God to give me a child. When the child came, she dedicated the child to the Lord. I asked for this child, you take this child. And after giving the milk, for 3 months, she made a nice coat for you, take the child and give to the temple. So they Boy Samuel was a prophet. We could have made prophets in our family. If our parents would have been really born again Christians and called the children. We will talk about the Lord.
Did your mother ever talk about her parents?
Nothing. They used to talk about her parents, all right.
Do you know your grandparents?
Yeah, I know my grandfather, but I do not know my grandmother.
Oh.
Because
where'd they come from?
They are from that same locality in Kerala.
Oh.
But the thing is, my grandmother died when my mother was 7 years old.
Oh.
When my mother was 7 years old, her mom died. So the father remarried second time. My mother's father married twice. The first one, my mother's mother, she died when...
What did she die from?
Nobody, she doesn't tell me anything. And she died, pneumonia or something like that. I think so. She died, and my mother was brought up by the granny, father's mother.
Oh, okay. And she was Syrian, right?
Oh, yes, Syrian. I was brought up by the grandmother. They had a lot of wealth. They are wealthy people.
Okay.
Oh, they are not poor people, wealthy people. So grandma took the grandchild, and she was brought up. So my mother grew up without mother. And mother's family, her mother's family and father's family took my mother as a pet. They looked after her, everything they did it. So my mother is very affectionate to her mother's family, relations. She used to visit, she used to take us there in holidays. My grandfather's family, we used to take us there. I still remember my grandfather, once he was working in a company. He came on few days holidays. When my mother took the school holidays, when we went there, I went before him. He looked at me like that. He did it like that, and that's all. He didn't kiss me. And I just talked to him, and that's all. That's all the sight that I had. Afterwards, I didn't have the sight of that.
And what about your dad?
My dad, he lived only a very short period of life he had. He had finally schizophrenia like Susan.
Auntie Sue.
And he was under treatment in the house, and he died.
But you were close to your grandfather.
Yes, I was very much close to my dad. He used to look after me, he used to take me, he used to buy the badminton bat and ball and all the things. Like a friend what is taking care of Jamon. Like that, he used to take me out. He's got a motorbike. He used to take me in a motorbike with a sidecar, go to the places, see the things. So when I was a young boy, I had a good life with him. He used to take me, he used to buy things, nice dress and all he used to buy. For Christmas time when he comes, he used to take the catalog and write. Where? London. In Kerala, he was not buying the local dress for me. He used to buy dress from Savile Row, London. And with the packet, that it will come in a nice packet. When you open it, good smell. And take out the shirt, take out the jacket, and all the things for me and my sister. My brother used to get the dress from Savile Row, London, through Pure and Sense Madras. And my father used to be a well-dressed man with a bow tie and all. He was working in a tea garden estate as a superintendent. More than 500 laborers working under him. He had a horse. He used to ride the horse. He had a motorbike with sidecar, manservants, women servants. He was a member of the European Club. Well-dressed man, he was good, very well-spoken in English. My grandfather also, well-spoken in English. So that any British missionaries, when they come to speak in the church, my grandfather used to translate it into Malayalam. When you speak in English, he used to translate it in Malayalam. And he used to write books, my grandfather. And C.H. Spurgeon was his very idle man. British missionary, C.H. Spurgeon.
C.H.
Spurgeon.
Okay.
Spurgeon's sermons. He used to translate into Malayalam and publish it and freely distribute it.
Wow.
Oh.
So what did your grandfather write?
My grandma, I had a faint idea of so thinking.
No, you said what did he write? You said he wrote books?
Yeah, he was writing books. And none of the books are there, it's all gone, disappeared. My grandfather used to go, 5,000, 6,000 copies used to come from the press. And then he used to call them evangelists. There are a lot of evangelists there. He used to say, you take this much. You take this much, this people.
So what was the topic of the book? Was it
that is the
Christian?
Yes. C.H. Spurgeon was a great missionary, British missionary.
Wait. I thought you said that your grandfather wrote books.
No, he used to translate it into Malayalam.
Oh, translate the book.
Okay.
Oh.
What he used to do, he take the sermons of C.H. Spurgeon, translate it into Malayalam, give it to the press.
Oh, good. Okay.
Take it into books, and finally when he died, he had nothing, only a wall clock and a walkie stick. He had a wall clock.
So your grandfather was a Christian.
Yes.
Good.
And there was one thing happened. My grandma died much early. Having 5 children, grandma died because she had mental illness. She died. At that time, my father's younger sister was a tiny child. There's nobody to look after. At that time, he employed a servant. She was a Catholic woman. Her name was Philomena.
That's not Indian.
No, Latin. Philomena. Her name was Philomena. Because in Kerala, we got the Dutch people came. They ruled for some time. They traded with Kerala. French people came. Portuguese people came. Spanish people came. They all came and put their landmarks little by little. So that this servant girl, she belongs to one of those groups.
Okay.
And
she took care of your father?
Oh, yes. No, not my father. But my father's younger brother, sister, she took care. She looked after him, and she used to cook meal for my grandfather. My grandfather was an excise inspector in the excise department, revenue department. He had good salary and all, but the thing is, my grandma died, so that this servant girl, he employed, she was very loving-natured woman. She used to teach to look after the children, my father's younger brother and sister. She was very kind, looked after her, trust her, everything. But my grandfather was a peculiar man. He used to call this woman, come on, sit down here. She only reads Malayalam. She can't know English. My grandfather picked up the Bible and said that, you know what Pharaoh did it? She used to explain all the Old Testament portions of Genesis and the Exodus and Leviticus, all the
She explained it to your grandfather?
My grandfather called the servant woman. She said, down here, I'm going to teach you the Bible.
He taught her or she taught him?
No, my grandfather taught her.
Oh.
So that she knew everything. And she was learning very careful. She was learning the things and finally New Testament, all the things. When I was a young child, she used to tell me, you know, Jesus Christ is coming again. Hey? Who taught you?
Your grandfather
taught me about Bible. He used to preach Bible to me every day. And he taught me to pray. And so then she has got a Malayalam Bible. Open it and she used to read it. She had a Malayalam Bible translation. She used to read it, but she knew some of the gospel inside. The book of Isaiah, she was quoting book of Isaiah,
Yeah.
Jeremiah. Then my grandfather did a good thing to her. She lived in the family for 45 years. And she died. By the time my uncle grew up, got the job, my father's younger sister got married, everything happened, and she grew, and she even looked after us. I slept with her, I remember. I never knew that she was a servant.
Mm.
When I slept with her, I never knew. I thought, she was a part of the family as granny.
Yeah.
I used to call her granny, but she was not the granny. She was not related. But
What country did she come from?
she is from the coastal area of Kochi.
No, but you said her name is Philomena.
Yeah, that's what I say now.
So she's Dutch?
No,
or Italian?
That is Portuguese.
She was Portuguese.
Portuguese people were there. It is that is the way. She was a Catholic.
Okay.
She was
So she must have come over from
no, she was a Catholic.
as a missionary.
We have a Catholic population in the coastal areas. Coastal areas where the British and the French and the Portuguese traded, they created a population there in Kerala. They were Latin Christians.
Mm.
They were Latin Christians.
Okay. So Jesus came to you from a very young age
Oh, yes.
and introduced himself.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Because, but one thing, some basic Christian principle was there in Kerala. Although they are not actually systematically learn about the New Testament word by word or the Revelation. Revelation was a hidden book at that time. Nobody knew it. When the people read Revelation, black holes, white holes and all that, they do not understand what black holes, white holes, they do not know. But now, we know what is the judgment. Now we know more. In this millennium period, many people know the in and outs of the gospel. Exposition, that means the revelation, deep into it, we can understand now. There are a lot of books written about it. Lot of small leaflets come out of the churches, and they preach also. Preaching also. Not so profound at that time. It was Billy Graham opened the channel for preaching. Tremendous missionary was. Billy Graham, you heard about him? He came to Kerala, he was shaken the place. We all say God, God, Father, God, Father. But who was Jesus Christ in that place? It was not, it is Billy Graham and others, they came and said, Jesus the living God, the Son of God and the very incarnate of God, the Father. He is the ruler of the world. Father has left everything under the control of the Son and said, Son, last time you went to save the people. Next time I will send you to judge the people. And all those who believe in you, they are under the shadow of the blood. I will accept them. All those who accept you, I will accept them. All those who reject you, I will reject them. See, we got weak attachment like that. The Father's attachment was through the Son only. When we look at the world, the whole world is under sin. Nobody will see the Holy God. Everyone is lost. But Jesus came and preached, and he connected it to the Father. And then said, oh, I died for your sin. If you abide in my blood and cover under the blood, my Father will accept you. Nobody can go to the Father, but only through me. See, the uniqueness of the Christians, now it has come. Otherwise, we only know our Father which art in heaven. Our Lord, be thy name, thy kingdom come. What is thy kingdom come? You don't know. But now I know.
Yeah.
We know thy kingdom is the Lord Jesus Christ who has come and established. That is the kingdom.